Hello and welcome back to another LEGO Unbox, Unbag and Build per bag. This time I'm here with set 75284 Knights of Ren Transport Ship. The set was released on August 1st, 2020, has 595 pieces, is rated ages 9 plus and comes with 3 minifigs as you see in the bottom corner there. It retails at €69.99 in euros, €64.99 in pounds and $69.99 in dollars. So here we have the Night Buzzard. Living space and transport to the Knights of Ren. Originally this was a prison ship but taken by the Knights of Ren before Kylo was affiliated with them. So I'm a little late buying this one because I was hoping to get Rey in last year's advent calendar, but I missed out on that because I didn't buy it in summer when it was released, and I waited until like a week or a month before Christmas and it was sold out. I would assume that LEGO would have made enough that they can sell them in November, right before Christmas. But no, LEGO. Good job. It was the first year I didn't get a LEGO Advent Calendar, so I was really mad about that. But here we are, now I have the set. It seems to be more of a display item though, as there's very little interior, something a lot of people, myself included, were disappointed by. So it's just all around disappointing to get Rey here. The only reason I wanted it was for Rey. I don't want the Knights of Ren because they're expensive. I like my expensive figures. Like I like my Jango Fett original. I like my blue battle droids, but I don't feel like the Knights of Ren should be that expensive. I mean, they've only each been in one set, right? And that's okay. But so has like that weird commander that came in the advent calendar and no other set. He was like a resistance commander, and he kind of looked a little bit like the Cassian Andor minifigure, but he's not expensive. I mean, sets like I just don't understand the hype for them. They weren't even that good. They stood around. They were posers. I have a lot of heated opinions here, but before we get onto a rant, show you the rest of the box. So the top of the box here, I'm sorry. I do like the Knights of Ren, but I just feel like they were underused and that made me angry. So let's get on to the rest of the box. On the top here you'll see the greebling all over the place, which is great. I always love that little bit. You'll also see then different languages for the title, and you'll see the 1-for-1 Knights of Ren minifigure. On the side there, pretty much the same. You see small print, LEGO Life logo, nothing too crazy there, nothing unusual. You will also then see on this side, you'll just see the front printed back on here again, which is I think lazy. They could have done it from a different angle there. And on the bottom you will see some nice, just small print there. But just getting onto this for a second, they used to have a picture here that showed the set from a different angle or in action or something, right? But now they just started putting the front of the box on there. And actually that was then. A month or two after that, when they released sets in January, there wasn't even a picture here. And I kind of prefer the not picture here. I kind of do, because I do like that greebling look. I think it's really cool. But especially if they're only going to put the front of the box on here again, it's nothing special. Anyway, onto the back of the box here. You'll see 2 action boxes there. You'll see play in LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, and you'll see Rey jumping about there as well. And you see a few things there, which is nice, but pretty typical of a LEGO set to show the set in a different light from the back. But yeah, that's pretty much all I can say about the box. And from the back of the box to the unbox, let's see what we got in here. How many bags? So we're going to get a sticker sheet, we're going to get an instruction book, and of course we're going to get an instruction book. We've got 2, 3, 4 bags, no sticker sheet, because, well, that's not really surprising. It's only that's 1, 2, 3, 4 bags, and then 1 instruction book. No sticker sheet, thank God. Kind of to be expected. It's an all black set. What do you expect, really? But yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's get on to the build. So in bag number 1 here, we have nothing really too crazy. We have some long pieces like that. We have some kind of unusual pieces like that. Just uncommon, I suppose, and definitely kind of uncommon in black, I would assume. Also then we can see that there's like this kind of hatch piece that you obviously attach a hatch door to, which might not be in this bag. I could be wrong. I don't see it in front of me here. Maybe you detach it in the next bag. That is, you know, sometimes what happens. Also then quite a lot of Technic pieces there as well. I won't lie, I did watch a couple of reviews of this set before I did review this set, or before I even got the set, because I didn't think I would get it, and usually I would keep my mind fresh. But if I didn't watch those reviews, I would be kind of suspicious about the amount of Technic here as well. And then in the small side, there is 2 bags here. You'll see some vents and stuff like that. Nothing too interesting there. No printed tiles in this side. And then over here, pretty much the same. Quite a lot of Technic-y kind of pieces there. And you will see one of the Knights of Ren helmets there as well. But yeah, I don't know that I mentioned the brick separator, but it's kind of hard to miss. You also get a brick separator in this bag. But yeah, let's get on to the build. So at the end of bag number 1, and as I said, the amount of Technic pieces would have had me a little bit kind of concerned, but this definitely would start to get me a little disappointed, because it looks like it's not going to be much taller or fatter or deeper than this, and I'd be starting to wonder now where the interior is going to go. Because I wouldn't assume that it'd go up too much higher, you know. But anyway, it is a decent enough little build so far. Kind of interesting the way they've put everything, you know. It's not exactly like nothing I'd write home about really, but like there is some nice kind of finishes here, and here is nice as well. These little bits here are interesting as well, you know. It is some still a nice little build so far, but again, nothing too crazy there. And then you get the minifigure here as well. I'm not sure which Knight of Ren he is. He gets his brick-built gun though, so that is completely brick-built using only Lego pieces. It doesn't really have any mold or any kind of gun in the middle there to hold it all together. Your spare pieces are here, and you got, of course, your brick separator as well. I'm probably not going to use it. I don't really use them an awful lot, so that's probably going to be a spare piece. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Still nice enough little build, but again, nothing too crazy. Let's get on to bag number 2. So in bag number 2 there, nothing too crazy. You see a lot more Technic pieces. You also see the 2 kind of, I'm going to call them skis. There's a landing gear for this ship, which is really nice. I like the fact that they've added that piece into the Lego collection in general. I think it's a nice piece there for any landing craft. You'll see some kind of unusual pieces there as well. Nothing too crazy at the same time. But then you have this thing in the corner, which I personally haven't seen before. I'm sure it's a standard enough piece for some sets, but I haven't really seen it a lot in my lifetime at all. Quite an interesting piece there, yeah, definitely. Your small side then, only 1 bag this time. You won't see anything too crazy in there either. You see these bits which are a little less common, but otherwise still nothing that crazy. You see a lot of Technic rods and stuff in there. No printed tiles in this bag, no printed tiles at all, I think, in the set, by the looks of things. But if I find any printed tiles, I'll add that in as well and let you know. But yeah, let's just get on to the build. So at the end of bag number 2, we have something that looks quite interesting. Quite nice, definitely. I enjoyed this little part of the build. Again, some interesting kind of, like, it wasn't like any interesting techniques in the sense that I'd go shouting about it from the rooftops or anything, but it was definitely an interesting little build, finding out how they were going to make it all fit in, and some of the kind of angles there that they've gotten as well are pretty cool. And again, it is kind of tiled off, not tiled, but it kind of comes together quite nicely in places here as well. Nothing too taxing again in the build, but it is an interesting one. No spare pieces for this bag at all. But yeah, that's pretty much all I could say. We only have the landing gear on this and this piece here, and a little bit more around here, and just added 1 little brick in there as well. But yeah, let's get on to bag number 3. So in bag number 3, we see fairly standard pieces for the most part, and then we see some nice kind of tubes and stuff there, some nice kind of gunmetal colours on some of the pieces there, which is definitely nice to see. We also see, is it Trudgeon's helmet? I think that's his name, or else it's close. I might have just butchered it. But otherwise, not an awful lot of crazy pieces in here. We got 2 small bags here in the first bag. There is quite an interesting piece here. I don't think I have ever seen this piece before. It's quite interesting, and it doesn't really make quite a lot of sense. Obviously then you see the trans orange pieces there, so we're going to be making the engines in this part. Otherwise, not an awful lot of crazy pieces. You see some nice silvers and gunmetals in there as well. And then you see the other small bag here. These pieces are nice. They're kind of a little bit less common. And then you see the gun here as well. But just skipping on to the instructions, they do something that I hate to do with these guns. They put binoculars on the top of it. They don't just leave it the way it is because it's fine the way it is. I don't particularly like when they do that, but it is what it is. But I still really just don't like that kind of technique. I think the piece itself is really nice, but then you go to ruin it and putting stuff on top. But that's the overview for bag number 3. Let's get on to the build. So at the end of bag number 3, we have some nice bits here. This is interesting the way they've done this. I think it's nothing too crazy at the same time because they have bent wires like that, tubes like that in the past, using the same kind of techniques that they have done here. But I just think it looks really nice. And then you have the engines on the back here, which do come together really nicely. I'm still really disappointed that there's no interior, but I mean, the build itself is actually pretty nice. Like, I'm not saying that the build is an awful set altogether, but it actually is quite enjoyable. I think that's pretty much all we've done in this bag. It looks really cool there from underneath as well with the tubes either side there. But yeah, we also then have Trudgeon or whatever his name is, with his gun that I was complaining about earlier. And then we have 3 spare pieces here in this bag. So yeah, nice little build. Let's get on to bag number 4, the 4th and final bag. And in here then we have in bag number 4, we have this. So that is kind of surprising that they waited until this long to give us that piece, because we see the first half in the first bag. But yeah, otherwise really standard pieces here, nothing crazy at all. We see of course the red blaster bolts, but really nothing that exciting. We see Ray here as well. I really can't stress enough that there's just nothing of importance in there really at all. All of these pieces are quite standard. We have one small bag in here. Of course, we got the spare lightsaber hilt and the lightsaber hilt as well itself. We got the lightsaber blade there too, and again, nothing really too impressive there. Some nice reds there that I didn't notice on the front of the pack, so I'm wondering where they go. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the overview of bag number 4. Let's get on to the 4th and final build. So at the end of bag number 4, we have the entire thing built. Surprise, surprise, it was the last bag. Just quickly, one thing I don't like about it is you have to take that up to open that up, but you did add the hatches here. These are kind of hard to put up, but you know, they work. There's 2 of them that we added in as well. We also added in these side panels there, which I think look really nice. Now, again, the interior for me is a massive problem, but it doesn't bring down the set enough for me to call it a bad set. You know, it looks, especially as a display piece, it looks really nice on its own like that. What else? I think that's pretty much all we've added in. Oh, we've added in the kind of stud shooter fire thingies as well. So you push on that and it, you know, goes. As I think it's gone. Is that it gone? Nope. Okay, so then we have Rey as well. I will be giving her a yellow lightsaber and displaying her somewhere because she has a yellow lightsaber at some stage, and I think that'd be pretty cool. Here you have your spare parts for the final bag, and here you have the spare parts for the entire set. Some nice like little details and stuff in it, definitely. It was a good experience, even though I went into it thinking it would be a bad experience because I knew that there's no interior, and I'm just a sucker for interior. It's one of my favourite parts when they can add it in well. But again, I'm pleasantly surprised with this entire set. I really am. The back of the instruction book here will show you that you can push on the back here to fire the spring-loaded shooters. It will tell you that... I didn't think they had that still printed. But yeah, it'll tell you that LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga is coming out 2020. That sheet itself might be rare because it's whatever, misprint or wrong, and could be more rare. But yeah, then we see the wave from that time as well, but we don't see the sets, we just see the minifigs. Yeah, there's no other page there. We literally just see the minifigs from the wave there, which is quite interesting. They haven't added in the rest of it. We also then see the inventory list, typical win stuff on the back there, and yeah, that'd be it. So that will just about do it for this set. As I said, was definitely very pleasantly surprised with this, even going into it thinking that I would not have a great time and thinking that it would be not a great set. I, in fact, avoided buying it for that reason, and I'm now happy that I changed my mind and got it. I actually think it looks really well there, unless you kind of take it up from the bottom or try and have a look at the inside. But yeah, definitely happy with this set. Thanks a million for watching my video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below if you think there's anything that needs to be said. Thanks a million, guys. See you again. Take care.